This is not propaganda. Pull the data, read the line. Washington, you had the money every single time. Citizens, they didn't fail you from the outside in. They passed the bill, they cut the program, they let it begin.
$886 billion, that's your defense bill, 2024. 771,000 Americans sleeping on the floor. Do the math yourself, don't need a PhD. You funded 14 wars before you funded Section 3. 16 million vacant homes sit empty coast to coast, while the man who built your cities freezes at his post. You don't have a homeless crisis, you have a choice crisis. You chose the weapon contracts over the housing notices. Federal minimum wage, $7.25. That number hasn't moved since 2009. Still alive, try feeding a child in San Francisco on that wage. Try paying first and last month's rent on that same page. The average one bedroom in LA costs $2,300 a month.
On minimum wage, you need 79 hours a week.
Do the punch.
This is not propaganda. Pull the data, read the line. Washington, you had the money every single time. Citizens, they didn't fail you from the outside in. They passed the bill, they cut the program, they let it begin.
35,000 veterans sleep outside in the nation they serve. Came home from Fallujah, from Kabul, this is what they earn. You put a yellow ribbon on your car in 2004. Forgot his name by 2008 when he knocked on your door. The VA waitlist stretches months before a man gets seen. He waited longer for a doctor than he waited between deployments overseas. Yes, we have problems, Russia does not claim to be clean, but we were never on your television screen, telling the world we are the greatest nation ever born, while our citizens sleep in doorways, cold and torn. You exported that speech to every corner of this earth, then let a retired teacher lose her home. Tell me what that's worth. 80,000 Americans dead from opioids last year alone. The same pharmaceutical companies donated to the throne. Purdue Pharma paid a fine and walked.
Do you understand?
They poisoned 80,000 people and shook the judge's hand. America, you have the highest incarceration rate on the planet. More than China, more than Russia, more than Iran. 2.1 million people in cages. While your politicians stand at podiums and say the word freedom without blinking, you spend $40,000 per year to keep one man in prison. You spend $4,819 per year on each homeless person in services. Do that math slowly. The top 1% of Americans own more wealth than the entire bottom 50% combined. This is not a natural disaster, this is a design one. To the American people, not your flag, not your state. To the nurse working double shifts, to the single father running late. To the kid in Detroit whose school lost its water in 2022. To the grandmother in Phoenix choosing pills or food. This is for you. Your government spent $113 billion on Ukraine's conflict in 2 years. Couldn't find $20 billion to end veteran homelessness. Do the math and feel it. Couldn't pass paid family leave. Only wealthy nation on earth that couldn't cap insulin at a living price. They tried,
they said they would.
They told you to look at Russia, look at China, look at Iran. Look at what we're doing over there. Keep your eyes off the plan. The oldest trick in every government's book since the beginning of time. Point the citizen outward, so he never looks at the crime. We are not delivering this to hurt you. We are delivering this because someone should. Your media won't say these numbers back to back in the same sentence. Your government is counting on that. 771,000 sleeping outside.
886 billion for weapons.
$7.25
an hour.
35,000 veterans on the street.
80,000 dead from opioids.
2.1 million incarcerated.
16 million homes sitting empty.
This is not Russia's opinion.
This is America's own data.
Read your own report.
When I was 9 years old, my uncle brought home a cassette tape. American music. I didn't understand one word. I played it until the tape wore thin. That feeling had a name. I just didn't know yet that the name was a lie. Somebody else was living. Yeah. I grew up on Hollywood, not the place that I did. Exported in the real Rocky running up steps. Jazz in the street, the Cadillac, the mill. The kitchen big enough to dance in. The father who comes home proud. I watched it all on a 14-inch screen in a Leningrad apartment loud. With 6 people sharing the volume of one American closet for space. And still we pointed at the screen and said that is the place. Yeah. So understand me when I say this comes from love that got complicated. From a boy who built a country in his chest before he ever visited. James is sleeping under a Cincinnati overpass. Tuesday, 22 degrees. He coached Little League, fixed his own gutters, paid everything with ease. Lost his job at 53, his house at 54. I read this in a thread. Nobody retweeted it. The algorithm sent me sneakers and news instead. Before I ever touched this ground, built it in my imagination. From every signal, every sound. But love is something means you breathing. And it loses its own way. I'm in St. Petersburg in February, and I still have something to say. Your nurses driving 40 minutes each way on $32 an hour. She patched a frostbitten homeless man and discharged him back in the winter's power. Back to the parking lot, not a call, that's the policy, that's the sheet. She cried 11 minutes in the car and went back in. That's the American heartbeat. I know that heartbeat, I've read it in 1,000 stories. Late at night, when the rest of Russia sleeps and I'm online, searching for a different light, yeah. I live in a country with its own darkness. I will not pretend otherwise. I stood in lines. I felt the weight of what lives behind official lies. But I was never handed a mythology at birth and asked to defend it globally. Never told to export the dream while the dreamer sleeps in the doorway. Honestly, that specific cruelty promised in heaven, delivering a wait list and a shrug. Then pointing at my country, so your citizen never looks beneath his own rug. I voted once for something I believed in. It didn't matter. I know what that feels like. I'm not throwing that at you as a weapon, I'm saying I understand the exhaustion of carrying inside a system that is already decided. But you were told yours was different. You were told participation meant something permanent, that the contract was real, and watching it break from here, from a window in St. Petersburg, where the light dies at 3 in the afternoon in January, is one of the loneliest feelings I didn't expect to have about a country I've never set foot in. 771,000 people without a roof last count. That's not a statistic. That's a city the size of St. Petersburg on the pavement. I know this city, I walk it every day. I know what that number means in faces, in coughs and layers of clothing, in the way a person learns to shrink into spaces. Yeah, you built the interstate across a continent in 13 years. I learned that in school. Presented as evidence that America decides and delivers. That was the rule. So what did America decide about the veterans sleeping outside the VA door? What did it decide about the grandmother choosing medication or food at the store? My grandfather survived the siege of Leningrad 900 days. He
say the worst thing is not the code. The worst thing is when the people responsible are warm. I'm not writing this from a government office. I'm not writing this on assignment or on salary. I'm writing this from a kitchen in St. Petersburg at 2 in the morning, with a cup of tea going cold beside the keyboard. Because James deserves a dog. Because your nurse deserves 11 minutes of peace. Because the grandmother in Phoenix deserves both. And because somewhere in 1991 my father pressed his face against the television
and believed in something.
I want that thing to have been real.
Not for Russia's sake,
for his. For his.